Y'all can get out. Y'all can get out. There's no meeting now. So let's say this. There's no quorum.
In an unexpected twist, the tension soared as the mayor made a bold demand for everyone to leave the room. "You all can leave, there's no meeting now," she boldly announced, leaving the room in complete shock. But that wasn't all. She dropped another bombshell. "Let me make this clear. There is no corn," she stated, sending ripples of confusion through the crowd. What did this cryptic declaration mean? Was it a threat, a subtle jab at someone, or something else entirely? Stay tuned as we unravel this unforgettable moment.
Excuse for any elected official to miss 8 meetings in a row. Andrew Holmes is in Dalton, but you're a distractor. You're beneath me. That's what I've realized.
Tensions reached their breaking point when the mayor unleashed a fiery tirade, calling out Andrew Holmes for missing 8 consecutive meetings. "There's no excuse for any elected official to skip 8 meetings," she shot back, but the real jaw-dropper came right after. "You're a distractor, you're beneath me," she boldly declared. What triggered this fiery confrontation? Is this the final straw for Holmes, or is it just the beginning of a bigger battle for power? Stick around as we break down the full story. Tiffany Henyard's reign is starting to crack, and this time, it's happening at Thornton Township. The self-styled super mayor is facing a storm she can no longer control. Accusations of corruption, reckless spending, and power moves have finally caught up to her. Township officials are pushing back, and the pressure is mounting. Explosive meetings, shocking allegations, and a rapidly crumbling hold on power, her downfall might be closer than ever. What went wrong? How did she go from calling the shots to losing control? Stay tuned, because this political drama is far from over. Hey everyone, I'm Olivia, and welcome to Red Rumbles, where chaos collides with controversy. From Hollywood scandals to brutal boxing brawls and political firestorms, nothing stays hidden for long. Corrupt officials, shocking betrayals, and battles both inside the ring and behind closed doors get exposed right here. If you're craving raw, unfiltered drama with no punches pulled, you're in the right place. Don't just watch, hit that subscribe button and stay locked in. The truth doesn't wait, and neither should you. Tiffany Henyard's rise in local politics was nothing short of meteoric.
I am about to address some things as the supervisor. There will be no comments. There will be anything. It'll just be me addressing you guys to tell you.
She stepped into the political arena with a bold vision, one of change and reform, vowing to improve the lives of those in Dalton and Thornton Township. Her confident speeches, focus on community empowerment, and almost larger-than-life persona earned her the nickname Super Mayor. At first, many saw Henyard as a breath of fresh air. She promised to revitalize a township that had been struggling with financial woes and systemic issues for years. She presented herself as a leader who could actually get things done, unlike those before her. Her early years were marked by bold actions and a magnetic presence that resonated with a wide range of residents. But as her term progressed, Henyard's methods started raising eyebrows. Her dedication to solving community problems seemed to be overshadowed by a growing thirst for power and control. Do you think Henyard's early success was genuinely about bringing change, or was it just a performance for the cameras? Henyard's most controversial move came when she took on dual roles, mayor of Dalton and supervisor of Thornton Township. This consolidation of power was hailed by some, but it sparked serious concerns in others. The question on everyone's mind became, was Henyard running the township for the people, or was she running it for her own gain? Her supporters argued that holding both positions allowed her to make quicker decisions and push through reforms without the interference of bureaucratic layers. But critics saw it as a blatant power grab. By controlling both Dalton and Thornton Township, Henyard had the power to appoint key officials, oversee budgets, and pass laws with little oversight. Many began to feel the weight of her unchecked authority. Was she truly making decisions in the best interest of the community, or had she become too self-serving? What do you think? Was Henyard's consolidation of power an attempt to help the community, or did it go too far? As Henyard's grip on the township tightened, so did the allegations against her. Financial mismanagement became a central accusation. It didn't take long for residents to start questioning where their tax dollars were going. Reports surfaced of inflated expenses for projects that seemed to have no tangible outcomes, and contracts were being awarded to companies with little transparency.
Think you should pay everybody? Is it the reason why you guys are not paying whatever that vendor is?
What was it for?
It was for shirts. That's what it's.
Several audits revealed that the township's financial health was even worse than anyone had imagined. Debt had skyrocketed, and many of the promised projects had failed to materialize. Yet Henyard continued to push forward with plans that only raised suspicions. Critics accused her of using public funds for personal gain. Investigations were quickly launched, and the accusations kept piling up. Whistleblowers from within Henyard's administration began stepping forward, claiming to have witnessed financial misconduct and coercion to cover up critical errors. Did Henyard's actions feel like a betrayal of the trust the people placed in her, or is there another side to this story? As financial issues mounted, the public's demand for answers grew louder. Town hall meetings turned into battlegrounds, with residents, activists, and politicians alike calling for Henyard's resignation. Her supporters tried to defend her, but the overwhelming evidence of financial mismanagement and lack of accountability left them struggling to justify her actions. Henyard, however, seemed unfazed by the criticism. She dismissed her opponents, branding them as enemies of progress. Publicly, she maintained that the accusations were politically motivated and nothing more than personal attacks. But behind the scenes, her position was weakening. The divide between her supporters and detractors widened, and Henyard found herself increasingly isolated within the political landscape. At first, it seemed like she could weather the storm, but cracks began to form in her carefully constructed image. Do you think Henyard's refusal to listen to the public played a role in her downfall? Share your thoughts in the comments below. The turning point came when even leadership within Thornton Township began to reject her. Henyard's political allies started turning their backs, and those within her inner circle began distancing themselves from her. Key officials who had once backed her now found themselves at odds with her policies, and public votes began going against her interests. The township board, once loyal to Henyard, voted against several of her initiatives. Town meetings became increasingly hostile, and it wasn't long before it was clear that Henyard was no longer in control. Her opponents, both within the township and beyond, began calling for her resignation. What was once a united front had now splintered, as Henyard's leadership became untenable. Do you think Henyard should have stepped down earlier to avoid this crisis? Or did she have the right to fight for her position? Let us know your thoughts. With growing discontent among both the public and elected officials, legal challenges became inevitable. Lawsuits were filed against Henyard, accusing her of financial mismanagement, abuse of power, and corruption. These legal battles weren't just political, they were deeply personal, and the stakes had never been higher. Investigations by law enforcement began to ramp up.
I'm a private investigator. I've got some books that sit here.
Whistleblowers within her administration provided critical information that painted a damning picture of Henyard's actions while in office. The allegations were serious enough to attract federal attention, and several high-profile figures in the region began calling for a thorough investigation into Henyard's financial dealings. The mounting legal troubles began to overshadow anything she had achieved during her time in office. What do you think will happen next for Henyard? Will she face charges, or will she manage to escape? Drop your predictions in the comments below. Despite overwhelming opposition, Tiffany Henyard refused to go down without a fight. As investigations continued and media pressure mounted, Henyard began rallying her remaining supporters, accusing her critics of orchestrating a conspiracy. She called the investigations baseless and insisted that the media had unfairly targeted her. In her final attempts to hold on to power, Henyard launched a public relations campaign. She appeared at press conferences, making bold statements about the future of Dalton and Thornton, continuing to argue that the public was being manipulated by political enemies, and that the true agenda of her opposition was to remove her from office at any cost. But her efforts to maintain control only seemed to reinforce the growing perception that she was increasingly disconnected from reality. Was Henyard's defense strategy too little, too late, or did she still have a chance to turn things around? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. As of now, Tiffany Henyard's future remains uncertain. The damage to her reputation is severe, and her political career seems to be teetering on the brink of collapse. With multiple investigations underway and public opinion turning against her, it seems unlikely she'll make a comeback anytime soon. However, history has shown that in politics, anything is possible. Henyard may try to reposition herself or seek a new political path, but for now, it seems her time as the super mayor has come to a painful and very public end. Do you think Henyard will ever regain her political power, or is this the end of her career? Share your thoughts below. Tiffany Henyard's fall from grace is a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked power, lack of accountability, and the consequences of betraying public trust. What started as a promise of change has ended in a spectacle of controversy and legal battles. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this entire saga. Do you think Henyard's actions were justified, or was she always doomed to fail? Let us know in the comments, and make sure to subscribe to Red Rumbles for more updates on this and other political stories shaking up the local scene. Thanks for tuning in, stay informed, and we'll see you next time.